Okay, now that we talked about the awards, guess what time it is, JT?
It's time to talk about Bruno. Okay, we're going to talk about
Will Smith. You know what we're going to talk about, folks.
We're going to talk about Will Smith and what was it? Chris Rock, right?
Chris Rock. We saved this to the end.
Yeah, what the hell with it?
Because if we saved this for the end because we didn't want this to be the whole let's talk about Will Smith and Chris Rock show. Because we wanted to give recognition to the people who won.
Yeah.
So anyway, we saved the best for last. Okay, so for those who didn't see it, JT, you saw the video, right?
It was, to be honest, it was frightening.
Because, okay, here's what happened. Chris Rock was out presenting for Best Documentary. I gotta say, this is the most intense conversation about a documentary I've seen.
True.
So he was out presenting for Best Documentary, and of course he was doing his little spiel. He was doing some jokes, and he was saying, and he was saying, Jada, you know I love you. He goes, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. Referring to her bald hair.
Right.
Her bald head. And then Will Smith gets on stage and slaps him.
Yeah.
And Will Smith just gets on stage and slaps him. And everybody's like,
dun, dun, dun.
And Chris Rock is like, wow, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And then Will Smith said, keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth. Dude goes, it was a G.I. Jane joke. Go, keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
You tell him, Will.
And then, well, no, like, have you noticed this? In the American broadcast, they censored it out.
Yeah.
They censored it out.
I've seen both the explicit version and the
but in the international in other countries, they didn't censor it.
Oh wow, really?
That's the difference between America and other countries. Like,
yeah,
the best way to describe it, it's a country like the UK. Like, their approach is, if you don't like it, change the channel.
Right. But we have to censor stuff.
We have to censor everything. Well, the British approach is, if you don't like it, change the channel. Which it should be, but it's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, Chris Rock was like, okay, all right, I'm here to present Best Documentary. All right, we got a deep dive into this, folks. So, JT, what did you think of this when this happened?
I mean, when I first heard about it, I was like, look, I guarantee you people who didn't even watch the Oscars found out about this. Like, I can't believe I missed this. Like, I saw the funniest thing on I was going through my news feed and whatnot, and I was looking at someone said something online, and I thought this was hysterical. So I'm not gonna say who this person is, but they literally said if Will Smith hadn't slapped Chris Rock, I wouldn't have known the Oscars had happened, which is pretty funny, which is sort of true at the same time. If you think about it. I mean, like, to be honest, no one really. Also, this Oscars was the second lowest in their history. Their
second lowest rated?
Yeah, of their viewing. Yeah, of their ratings. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Like, I read somewhere online, I was like, this was the second lowest Oscars viewing or rating, whatever it was, since I forget what year, but, like, you know what I mean? I was like, really? After all
this would have gotten people in there.
Although, if people had known Will Smith was going to slap the crap out of Chris Rock, then hey, whatever, you know?
Yeah, but what do you, because a lot of people, when you look through social media, they're kind of split. Some people are on Will Smith's side. Some people are on Chris Rock's side. Some of them are saying, going, no, Chris Rock shouldn't have been making fun of Will Smith's wife. He got what he deserved. Some of them are saying Will Smith needs to learn to take a joke.
Yeah, I honestly think that people are blowing this way out of proportion. I mean, I think he did what he did, and Chris Rock got upset about it, and Will Smith apologized. And no. Chris Rock apologized, right?
No, I don't know if he apologized or not,
Oh,
but
hopefully he does. I love Chris Rock. The dude's hysterical, but
no, he is. But
I love Will Smith too. But like that was just completely uncalled for.
so because you know what? It's like some people like. What do you think? Do you think Will Smith was in the wrong? Do you think Chris Rock was in the wrong?
it's hard to say. I mean, if Chris Rock was calling out his wife, then I mean that's one thing. Then that's the trigger. And then Will Smith obviously came up like, all right, get up, and I'm gonna smack him. So
Yeah, and I just want to say this with, I got a couple things to say about this, but I think one of the big things is because Jada Smith has this thing called alopecia.
Oh, okay.
Which is an autoimmune disease
that sucks.
That basically causes hair loss.
That's terrible. But yeah.
And so she ended up shaving her head to I think that she ended up shaving her head. I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
But so I could see why Will Smith got angry. But on the other hand, with Chris Rock, though, I'm hearing that Chris Rock didn't even know that Jada Smith had alopecia.
That makes it worse.
Well, to be fair, I'm like, listen, I'm not to be honest with you, folks, I'm just going to say this now so you know where I'm coming from. To be honest with you, folks, I think both Will Smith and Chris Rock were both in the wrong. I think they were both in the wrong. I think Chris Rock shouldn't have made that joke, but I don't think Will Smith should have gotten up and smacked him.
Yeah.
So I think they were both in the wrong. But you know what? It's like I've been for the past 2 days, JT, I've been going back and forth on one thing. No, at first I'm like, no, I'm totally on Will Smith's side. Chris Rock was being a jackass. But then I'm like, no, you know what? They were kind of both in the wrong. But here's the thing where I will slightly give some grace to Chris Rock. He didn't know. If he didn't know, you can't punish him for not knowing.
That is true.
You can't punish him for not knowing. Like if he found out about that, if I was him, I would say, listen, Will, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't punish someone for not knowing. Because he didn't know. He didn't know. And I will give Chris Rock credit for that he kept his composure.
Yes. Good for Chris Rock.
Because you're also thinking, is this going to break out into a fight?
On live TV?
Yeah, the whole world is literally watching. But,
yeah.
And some people are saying, like, what do you think about this when they're saying, well, Will Smith was just defending his wife?
I don't know. I think it's a little slightly uncalled for on both sides, but that's me.
Because the thing is with Will Smith, it's like, listen, I understand, dude. Somebody said something about your wife. Yeah. So you got into defense mode. I got it. But I get it. But the thing is, violence doesn't solve anything.
It never does.
Like I always say, violence is not the answer. JT, violence is not the answer.
Violence is not the answer, children.
Unless the question is, what is never the answer? But technically, violence is the answer. What is never the answer? Violence. So in that case, technically, violence is the answer.
Yes.
But anyway, this has sparked outrage.
Yeah.
And some people are saying, and I'm going to ask you this, JT. Some people are saying that Will Smith should get his Oscar taken away.
Some people are saying that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that might be a little bit too pushy, but that's me. So
here's what I think. One, I think maybe Will Smith should have been asked to leave. Sorry. But
maybe.
Here's what I'll say, though. I don't think he should be taking his Oscar taken away, because here's the thing. If you're going to, because the Academy did say that they don't condone what he did. There will be an investigation. There will be a review and there will be consequences.
Right.
So I don't know what those consequences are going to be. But here's what I got to say to the Academy. If you take Will Smith's Oscar away for slapping Chris Rock, again, I do not condone what Will Smith did.
Right.
I do not condone what he did. But if you're going to take away his Oscar for slapping Chris Rock, then why don't you take away Roman Polanski's Oscar because he's a fucking pedophile?
Fair enough.
Then why don't you take away Harvey Weinstein's Oscar because he's a fucking pervert?
There you go.
So if you're going to take Will Smith's Oscar away for smacking the crap out of Chris Rock, then you need to take away Roman Polanski's. You need to take away Harvey Weinstein's.
Yep.
Be consistent here, Academy. Because I think what Polanski and Weinstein did was 100 times worse than what Will Smith did.
I agree with that.
So, yeah, if you're going to take away Will Smith's Academy Award, you better take away Roman Polanski's. You better take away Harvey Weinstein's.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's my thoughts on that. But, God, that one moment, it just blew up. Everybody, like, if you were on social media for the past 24 to 48 hours,
there's been nothing but those memes.
Nothing but just like that. Like, even like that Oscar night when I went to bed, this was already a meme.
Yeah.
It was already a meme.
It went really quick. The memes came out really quick.
And you know what? It's like, but like, here's the thing. When I was talking about how I thought Will Smith's Oscar acceptance speech was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It just sounded like when he was saying, love makes you do crazy things. And yeah, it does. And he just said, God is calling me to be here. And it's just Satan being angry with me or something like that. And I'm like thinking, dude, I feel like Will Smith is refusing to take responsibility. Like,
right.
To be fair, though, yesterday he did apologize to Chris Rock.
Oh, a good thing he did.
And Chris Rock did say he's not going to press charges.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
see, two Hollywood celebrities / actors get it together and they figure it out. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, well, Monday morning they said Chris Rock said he's not going to press charges.
That's great.
But that's now because the LAPD said if he changes his mind, we'll be here.
Oh, good.
But anyway, I think. And this is another thing that annoys the hell out of me. People are bringing up the fact that Will Smith and his wife have an open marriage and that she was having an affair with him, and yet he's all defensive of his wife. I'm like thinking, guys, first of all, I got to say that, listen, the status of their marriage, it's none of your freaking business.
I agree.
It's none of your business. I do not condone open marriages. I'm not into that or open relationships. If that's what you do, that's your business.
Yeah.
If that's what you do, that's your business. But don't call out Will Smith to justify what Chris Rock did.
I agree.
And you're bringing up all this bad to make it look like Chris Rock was in the right. And from what I'm gathering, I think I said it's pretty split, but I think more people are kind of on Chris Rock's side than Will Smith's side. Like Alec Baldwin came out and defended Chris Rock.
Right.
So, this was just a weird ass situation.
Very weird. Very weird.
This was a weird ass situation. And I will say, I think what Will Smith did was wrong, but I do think his heart was in the right place. I think, somebody said something about his wife. His wife has this condition.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? On the other hand, like I said, if Chris Rock didn't know about this, you can't entirely blame him.
No, I agree.
Not that I condone the joke he made, but not that I condone the joke he made, but you can't entirely blame him.
Right.
If he didn't know, he didn't know. So, yeah, that is and when your girl, Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
she came when she came back to do her slot of hosting. She's like, "What I miss? Did I miss something big?"
Oh my God, Amy's hysterical. I love her.
And yeah, because they had two other hosts this year, which I will admit, I think it was a little strange, but I think they worked well together. I think next year they should just have one consistent host, though.
No, don't switch it up, guys. Oscars, if you're listening to
one consistent host,
please, please,
just have one host and that's it. But yeah, that is my take on the Will Smith, Chris Rock situation, and
yeah,
that's my thing on the Oscars.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that kind of wraps it up for tonight, bud.
Yeah. Again, we wish Dr. Hensley could be here today.
If Matt Hemsley was here, we'd have a lot more to say. But we did get through a lot tonight, though.
Yeah, we did get through a lot.
So.
Yeah, but you know what? I just want to say one more thing about the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing. It's kind of a shame, though, because this overshadowed a lot of the first, like Ariana DeBose being the first female LGBTQ woman of color to win the Oscar.
Right.
This being, Troy Lutzker being the first male deaf actor to win an Oscar. Like,
a lot of firsts.
I feel so bad for them because their big moment gets overshadowed by this.
Yeah.
Because people were talking about Troy Lutzker and Ariana DeBose and things like that the next day. But what was the number one thing people were talking about from the Oscars?
Will Smith and Chris Rock.
They were talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Yeah.
And you know what? I do feel bad for Troy Lutzker and I feel bad for Ariana DeBose because their big night gets overshadowed by this. So that's why we saved this for last, folks, so we could give everyone else their due.
Yep. We want to
give everyone else their respect.